but our heart is close. We can get through this with the same goal.
Listen to your conscience, love yourself. Listen to your conscience, love the world. It's our only home, you're not alone. With our conscience we can stand as one. Listen to your conscience, no anger. Listen to your conscience, no worries. Listen to your conscience, no tension. Hold on, don't give up, we'll get through this.
When the world slows down, I gotta calm my heart. I look into myself and evaluate my actions. I admit that I'm lost. Did everything mean nothing? I fear my conscience calling that I can make something with my life, make a change and improve. Doesn't have to be big, it's something I gotta do. I need to change myself, my words and my actions. Conscience pulls me through, yeah. Me and you, as humans, from purity we stray away. Conscience, the inner compass, can lead the way. Conscience is knowing what's right from wrong. Conscience is our guide to a peaceful world. Happiness, the most important thing. Like the bell of peace, make your voices ring. Spread your happiness, bring your friends along. We can get through this with the same goal.
Listen to your conscience, love yourself.
Love yourself.
Listen to your conscience, love the world.
Love the world.
It's our only home, you're not alone.
Not
With
alone.
our conscience we can stand as one.
Stand as one.
Listen to your conscience, no anger.
Just smile.
Listen to your conscience, no worries.
Let it go.
Listen to your conscience, no tension.
Just relax.
Don't give up, we'll get through this. La 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 la. La 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 la. Listen to your conscience, love the world. Hold on, don't give up. We will get through this.
Tell me, is it just me or are you worried too? Worried about the world that we're heading to. Suffering too much, we've all had enough.
Let's make a change, let's hit restart.
We celebrate conscience on April 5th. Being kind and honest, spread your love. Gather your friends, our conscience awakens.
Uniting, protecting, we're all in common.
Now we all know about this viral pandemic. People dying and we're losing many paramedics. This new disease,
It's all in the air.
country shutting down.
I mean everywhere.
Be selfless.
Wear masks.
For help,
Wash your hands.
for true love.
Stand at home.
Be kind.
Save the world.
We're far apart, but our heart is close. We can get through this with the same goal.
Listen to your conscience, love yourself. Listen to your conscience, love the world. It's our only home, you're not alone. With our conscience we can stand as one. Listen to your conscience, no anger. Listen to your conscience, no worries. Listen to your conscience, no tension. Hold on, don't give up, we'll get through this.
When the world slows down, I gotta calm my heart. I look into myself and evaluate my actions. I admit that I'm lost. Did everything mean nothing? I fear my conscience calling that I can make something with my life, make a change and improve. Doesn't have to be big, it's something I gotta do. I need to change myself, my words and my actions. Conscience pulls me through, yeah. Me and you, as humans, from purity we stray away. Conscience, the inner compass, can lead the way. Conscience is knowing what's right from wrong. Conscience is our guide to a peaceful world. Happiness, the most important thing. Like the bell of peace, make your voices ring. Spread your happiness, bring your friends along. We can get through this with the same goal.
Listen to your conscience, love yourself.
Love yourself.
Listen to your conscience, love the world.
Love the
It's our
world.
only home, you're not alone.
Not
With our
alone.
conscience we can stand as one.
Stand as one.
Listen to your conscience, no anger.
Just smile.
Listen to your conscience, no worries.
Let it go.
Listen to your conscience, no tension.
Just relax.
Don't give up, we'll get through this. La 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 la. La 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 la. Listen to your conscience, love the world. Hold on, don't give up. We will get through this.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us to celebrate the United Nations Day. This year's celebration is very special as 2025 marks the UN's 80th anniversary. The theme for the United Nations at 80 is Building Our Future Together. As we are ever more connected, we find that it is essential and effective for us to build our futures together. With the Agenda 2030, the Pact for the Future, and the UN 80 initiative, the UN is looking to renew the foundations of international cooperation and to ensure that it can deliver for people everywhere. On this particular day, we would like to celebrate the anniversary of the entry into force in 1945 of the UN Charter. With the UN at 80, we like to reflect on our past journey as well as where we should go from here on out. Let's take a look at the video presented by the UN on what the UN has achieved and what we will do for the future.
The nations were united. The Big Five, China, Russia, Britain, France, and the United States, led the peoples of the world as they launched a rule of international law and a Bill of Human Rights.
In the aftermath of the Second World War, the UN really was an expression of hope, and it was the birth of the international community as we know it today. It was the first time we started having an expectation that there is such a thing as a shared humanity, that we have universal laws, universal norms, and that the international community should come together and work together on the problems that we face. I think to people it represented the idea that this is something that is a global project and that everyone has a stake in. I think that is probably the biggest achievement of the early years, creating those expectations that the UN and states and people have tried to live up to ever since. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights is a document that personalizes the promise of the UN to individuals. It's this idea that we have a shared humanity, we have a shared responsibility to one another. So this is really about saying that I am affected in a very direct way by rights violations that diminish someone in a faraway country. And that gives them some measure of hope for protection, for justice and truth. In those early years, peacekeeping was very much about monitoring an armistice agreement, the withdrawal of troops.
These successful armistice negotiations have demonstrated conclusively the ability of the United Nations to mediate a serious conflict and to avert a dangerous threat to the peace.
That is a model that's been hugely successful. It helped to deliver peace in places like Namibia, El Salvador, Colombia, Sierra Leone. But I think today it is a model that is harder and harder to implement. It's also really hard to find funding for those missions. We spend about $7.5 billion a day on war and on our militaries. We spend that a year on peacekeeping across the world. The eradication of smallpox is a defining achievement of the UN. It was about engaging the scientific community to develop a vaccine, but how do you mass produce that? How do you store that? How do you transport that? It was a logistics issue. You needed to have not just doctors and nurses, but community workers. It was a whole of society effort. And I think that represents what the UN can do at its absolute best. The UN's role in advancing women's rights, empowerment and gender equality has been really transformative.
My dear friends, I would like to welcome you. It is the first intergovernmental meeting in the world where women form part of virtually every delegation.
In 1995, there was a landmark UN conference on women where states adopted something called the Beijing Platform of Action. If you look at how many more millions of girls are not just going to school but are completing 12 years of education, you look at the attention that people now pay to issues like modern slavery, trafficking, sexual violence in conflict. So there are huge advances that we have seen over the decades in terms of literacy, political inclusion, economic inclusion. I think it's been really transformative.
Will those in favour of the draft resolution please raise their hands?
One of the criticisms we hear of the UN is that it is a talk shop. I actually think that's one of its most important functions. This is one of the only spaces where countries can continue to come together and interact, regardless of how terrible their bilateral relations may be or whatever issues they're facing. It forces them to come together. And I think that prevented, on a number of occasions, things from getting very, very bad, probably prevented some kind of nuclear confrontation. The fact that the Cold War remained cold is something that we can credit the UN with.
We stand ready to take the next steps down the road of cooperation through verifiable arms reduction.
The Millennium Development Goals were transformative on many levels. You have a series of very specific goals around which countries can coalesce. That means they can align their national priorities, their national resources with a global endeavor. The fact that you have clear, measurable goals also means that the people in those countries are then able to hold their governments to account in a very specific way with reference to an international framework. The number of people living in extreme poverty was halved. School access grew massively. You got millions more people in school. Maternal mortality was slashed. So I think we saw what a coordinated push around some very specific issues can achieve. In the past decade, we've seen the Paris Agreement on climate change, the Sustainable Development Goals.
It is so decided.
The Sustainable Development Goals, I think, were one of the highlights of the past decade. It represented the will of governments to come together, but it was also a huge public consultation and engagement exercise. People care about what is agreed at the UN. And I think most people know that their government can't just solve climate change. Most people know that things like misinformation, pandemics, they cross borders. There's no way that their government can do it alone. We saw some of that again during the COVID-19 pandemic, when you really had different sections of societies, different parts of the UN come together to say, this is our action plan for halting the spread of COVID, testing, developing vaccinations, but also how do we respond to the economic impact of this crisis? How do we respond to the social impact? So again, I think it was a really good example of what the UN can achieve. And as long as the need is there, you do need to have an organization like the UN that can work not just on these individual issues, but actually look at the links between them. Ultimately, governments have to deliver for their people. And the UN, multilateralism, these are tools for governments to deliver for their people. The UN continues to symbolize the hopes of people. It did that in 1945 and it does that today.
80 years ago, the world planted a seed of hope. That peace is possible when humanity stands together.
There is a shared humanity. There is a hope that things will be better going forward than they are right now. That is a very human characteristic, that we have the capacity to hope and the will to work together. And that fundamentally is what the UN represents. It's a way for people to place their hope in something that is bigger than them and that connects us all.
Hope of the people is what drives us. As the Secretary General said, peace is possible when humanity stands together. For this grand celebration, the president of the Federation of World Peace and Love, Dr. Hong Daozi, has prepared a message. Let's welcome Dr. Hong's message on uniting our conscience to build peace together.
Distinguished guests, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, greetings. Today marks United Nations Day, a day that commemorates the entry into force of the UN Charter on October 24, 1945. In the aftermath of two devastating world wars, the birth of the United Nations represented the shared hope of all for lasting peace and collective security. This year marks the 80th anniversary of the founding of the United Nations. As we commemorate and celebrate this milestone, we hope that the UN 80 initiative will optimize the architecture of the UN system, overcome challenges, achieve successful reforms, and, through more flexible and efficient operations, continue to maintain international order, promote economic, social, cultural, and humanitarian cooperation, advance human rights and dignity, and drive sustainable development. To achieve these goals, the most crucial element is a united conscience. When people act according to their conscience and work together in unity, the power of a united conscience can embody the spirit of the United Nations and lead to a world of equality, peace, harmony, and happiness, which is also the very mission upon which the United Nations was founded. Today, the challenges we face are more diverse and complex than ever before. Wars and conflicts persist, while extreme weather events bring frequent disasters. Global economic inequality is widening, and countless people are displaced by both natural and human-made calamities. False information and hate speech are deepening social divisions. The future of youth and vulnerable communities has become uncertain, and people's conscience is clouded by confusion. As a result, the situation continues to deteriorate. These global challenges not only transcend national borders but also profoundly affect the shared destiny of humankind. More than ever, we need unity, understanding, inclusiveness, and cooperation. This underscores the vital role of conscience and the urgent need for the power of a united conscience to transform the deeply unsettled state of our world. Therefore, I sincerely advocate the Declaration of Transparency and Integrity. It calls for restoring cooperation among individuals and between nations on a foundation of trust, with transparency and integrity at the heart of governance and collaboration, to promote global trust and peace. To realize this vision for our world, justice in institutional reform and resource allocation is essential, but even more fundamental is the awakening of the human heart. Only when people truly recognize and embrace that all humanity shares a common destiny can our actions reflect true solidarity, mutual benefit, and care for the environment. Conscience is the purest force within humanity. It is our moral compass, guiding us to distinguish right from wrong, truth from falsehood, and good from evil. When the world falls into disorder, conscience leads us back onto the right path. When national leaders govern with conscience, they safeguard human rights, promote justice, and make decisions that put people and the environment first. When citizens act with conscience, society is built on trust, fairness, and tolerance, and people come together to protect justice and cultivate harmony. Conscience transcends religion, ethnicity, and politics. It is a vital force for promoting peace and resolving conflict. In today's turbulent world, it is more important than ever to make conscience the core of policy, the foundation of education, and the guide for action. Since its establishment in 2000, the Federation of World Peace and Love, FOWPAL, has been devoted to promoting the values of conscience, love, and peace through culture, education, and civil diplomacy. As of August 2025, FOWPAL has visited 120 countries, advancing the movement of an era of conscience and organizing ceremonies of ringing the bell of world peace and love. FOWPAL has also initiated and promoted the UN-declared International Day of Conscience and International Day of Hope, as well as the endorsement of declarations such as the Declaration of Transparency and Integrity. It has also organized numerous international forums and youth dialogues. Through these endeavors, FOWPAL embodies the very spirit of United Nations Day, transcending borders, embracing diversity, and promoting global inclusion and cooperation. Its ongoing efforts demonstrate that when guided by conscience, each individual can harness the power of love, unite the collective conscience of humanity, and become a driving force for positive change, together building a peaceful world where transparency and integrity prevail. On this United Nations Day, let us once again unite the kind and positive hearts of people around the world. Let us begin with ourselves, in our daily lives, guided by conscience, as we work together to protect our shared home, the Earth. A peaceful future depends on each of us making courageous choices for goodness and taking positive action to uphold truth. Let us join hands and move forward together to realize the vision of the United Nations, creating for present and future generations a bright world filled with love, respect, inclusion, peace, and sustainability. I sincerely wish for mutual benefit and love, and peace and shared prosperity for all. The awakening of conscience in every person and the fulfillment of our noble aspirations. Multilateral cooperation and collective progress, and a united conscience to realize global sustainability. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Hong. As Dr. Hong said, conscience is the purest force within humanity. It is our moral compass, guiding us to distinguish right from wrong, truth from falsehood, and good from evil. When the world falls in disorder, conscience leads us back onto the right path. So let us remain hopeful and let conscience be our guide and breakthrough of the darkness to embrace peace and prosperity for all. In FOWPAL's journey, we have connected with individuals from various circles, whether it's world leaders, governments, corporations, or world citizens. Today, we'd like to share with you the perspectives of people we met recently and their actions on peace. Let's welcome their messages.
It's a wonderful experience, actually. It's my first time, and obviously, I don't think I'll ever do it again, but it's something that doesn't happen to everybody often. So I'm very happy I got to do it, and I feel great and feel tranquility, the peace, and we are wishing the world the peace that we believe the bell brings with it, that soothing feeling that you feel when the bell rings. It's quite an experience. Thank you. Every leader, especially in Africa, we are speaking peace because it is absolutely necessary. Because Africa, as you know, Africa has been torn by all kinds of conflict, and it has held us back in so many ways. And now we believe the time has come for Africa in particular to silence the gun and be at peace so we can start rebuilding, so we catch up with the rest of the world. We have fallen behind. So peace is an absolute necessity. And I come from the most peaceful country in Africa, the Kingdom of Eswatini. We are known all over the world for our peace and stability in the hands of His Majesty, the King Mswati III. I think what the doctor is doing is awesome for the whole world, and especially for us because we are friends with the doctor, with his friends with His Majesty the King of my country. So we say, please push on and keep on speaking peace and believing for peace, and especially Africa. I come from Africa, so Africa is at my heart, and I believe if Africa was peaceful, the rest of the world will be a better place, because look how much resources the world is pouring into trying to bring peace to Africa. So whatever happens to us determines what also happens to the rest of the world. So keep up the good work, Doc.
So peace is something which is very different for every individual, and but the only common part is that we want to achieve peace and we want to attain peace, and there are different ways you can achieve that. The first, very foremost important thing to achieve peace is to have an intention to achieve peace. If your intention is not having, then you can talk about peace, but there is nothing on the ground. Transparency, yes, definitely, it coordinates to a lot of peace building activities, and if you're transparent enough, I think you can go ahead with a lot of things. Yeah.
My motivation is rooted from the way I was born. My mother was on labor for 3 good days, and eventually when I was born, when I came up, and my father found that his first child and his wife were alive. That time there was nothing like ultrasound for you to know the sex of the baby. So he carried me and said, "You must work for women." And that was even before he gave me the name Ada. He gave me this mandate before he named me. And that has been my passion. So it grew with me. And anything I see that has to do with women, I cue in. And that's why most people know me here as a gender advocate. So, and that prompted me in 2015, where they were doing the post-2015 agenda, and I initiated the issue about First Ladies Forum. And that has been since that 2015. We've been doing it every September 21 during the General Assembly. And it has been so awesome. That led to some of the books you saw me write. That is inspiration from those events that led to those books. So it has been impactful, it has been explorative, it has been also connecting. It had led me to so many women, so many people, so many first ladies. It also led me to FOWPAL. Can you imagine? Without this, I wouldn't have known FOWPAL. Yes.
So since you and FOWPAL has been friends for many years, any encouragements to the FOWPAL volunteers?
What I want to tell the volunteers who have been volunteering excellently is to keep on the good work. I volunteered within the four corners of United Nations for 13 good years. Before I got to what I am today, I volunteer. So there is benefit. It will give you knowledge, it will give you connection, it will give you recognition. People will know you. See, all these people that will say a lot of things about me today, I knew them when I was volunteering. So it's always good. I want to encourage them. They shouldn't think about the benefit. There is a long-term benefit. Don't think about the short-term benefit. Continue. One, it will give you knowledge base. You will grow. Without volunteer, I wouldn't know you. And if tomorrow you knock at my door for anything and I can do it, I will definitely do it. So there is that a lot of doors that needs to be connected for your own future. So I want to encourage them to be happy. Dr. Horn is a very nice man. He loves people. He's very sympathetic. He has conscience for people, and that's why I love what he's doing. And I always want to cue into that. So I keep on the good work, and let not be discouraged. Never you be discouraged, and enjoy the job you are doing, because it will take you somewhere.
In the Bahamas, we promote peace. We have, as First Lady of the Bahamas, I'm very much involved in every woman, every child. Also, I work very hard against gender-based violence, inequality, and empowerment of women. Because these are the areas, once you work on those areas, you start achieving peace in your own country. Everything starts from home. When you're able to attain peace at home and in the region where you live, by signing treaties with your neighbors and other islands in the Caribbean and in Latin America, we start making sure that we stabilize our region. Well, we have one country that we're still working with, like I said. But once you start taking care of the young people, especially, making sure they don't have mental issues, making sure they have jobs, that there's inclusion for those who have disabilities, making sure that women, we reduce the gender-based violence as much as possible, which we do that by empowering women, We use microfinancing to empower women and girls. We have so many methods. But home, I'm a very strong advocate for everything. I leave the politicians to make the legislation and the law. But my voice is very powerful, I must say, because I lead quite a number of NGOs and to make sure that we have our people, that they are fed. We reduce hunger. We reduce the gender-based violence. We make sure jobs are available. We're working on more safe houses for women who are battered. And we make sure children are fed at school so that they can learn. And there's less school violence. So we're working all around to make sure that we reduce and keep violence at home in our country at a low level. And then we also focus, again, with the countries around us, and in that way we can focus on the world. We can help. You know, I just wish everyone will sit and negotiate and use and just do whatever it takes to attain peace. This is what we need, you see.
Earlier I said how inspirational the entire program was going, but with the ringing of the bell and to be part of it myself, I mean, it was just really awesome, you know, and it makes you reflect. We all wrote a wish, and just expressing your own wish with the passion that we saw displayed here, you know, it gave you that extra feeling of wanting to express that wish over and over again and seek for the implementation of it, for the carrying on of the wish. So it was also so inspirational and so emotional. I want to encourage you, especially those who are there with Dr. Hong, to just carry on with the vision, you know, carry on with the vision. You have made such a difference in this program here today that it is unbelievable, because you not only expressed his vision and his work, but you demonstrated it, and that was just so great, you know. So I can only say to you, continue to support him, continue to grow in his environment and with the vision that he constantly put forward and just exclaims to the world.
Well, the feeling, number one, the context and the depth of what we were doing, I think was just absolutely amazing and phenomenal and inspirational and spiritual. Also because I did not know what was going on. I did not know what she said, we want you to come and be here for the ringing. I didn't realize I was ringing. So it's just really warm and happy, because the work that we do is to drive this sustainability, to drive these efforts, equality, and protect nature. So it's great. It was a great feeling. Thank you. Well, I'm the chairman and founder of an organization called Public Foundation, and what we do is, you know, we help build, protect nature, create technological solutions, and bring capital and multilateralism together, and look at how we can build a better tomorrow. You know, look at the evolution of multilateralism and how governments and the multi-stakeholders come together, and new capital opportunities. You know, happiness and peace is a byproduct of actually people living the life they want to live. Right? Give someone an opportunity to build their own dreams, give them an opportunity to live their own purpose, their own passion, and I think that we lack that in today's world. And when we talk about peace, we have to take action. As we said, you have to take action, and action isn't just talking. A lot of people think talking is action. Action is actually building infrastructure, connecting people, bringing everybody together, and creating micro movements that create macro movements.
My name is Jean Leon. I am from St. Lucia, and now the executive director for the Nature Bank. And it was an absolute honor to ring the bell. I never expected it, so it was a total surprise. But it did feel very liberating after the first one, which was acknowledgement of consciousness. So I am really looking forward to taking this, what I call trust and responsibility, very seriously going forward, because I believe, as I said in my remarks, peace is not just the absence of war, but it is the presence of a system working together. And that translates to not only nature, but people, and all that make up the planet living in total harmony. That is when we get peace, because peace now becomes a state of stability, a state of calm. And the only way you can have that is if your entire system is consistently connected. What we have in the world, which is violence, tension, stress, greed, exploitation, are all elements of the system in tension. And so that is war. So I am at war if nature is being exploited. I am at war if women are not being given rights. I am at war if I monopolize resources. I am at war if those that need don't have the right to have. And all of those are elements of a system. And so it is promoting that harmony, promoting that stability is what I think will bring peace, not just to communities, to nations, but to the planet as a whole. Well, transparency, integrity are parts of the system. Because if you think about it well, the system is not able to be stable, be able to function if there is no transparency, because without transparency, people don't know. If they don't know, they cannot trust. If they cannot trust, then there is tension. If there is tension, there is no peace. So transparency leads to integrity. Integrity promotes the absence of tension, which is what generates peace. Yeah.
For any nation to prosper and to develop, we need to be transparent in ensuring that peace building forms the core of everything that we do. And we need to ensure that women are involved in peace building. We need to also build the capacity of our women, the children, our traditional leaders, our religious leaders at the community level to be able to mediate and so that they can proactively prevent even conflicts before they arise. Thank you so much.
Okay, so my thoughts about peace is like we should just love each other, spread love, and the world would be a better place. Stop the hate, stop the killing, just spread love. So the fact that I've been through war, I survived I was born into civil war. It wasn't good at all. Like a lot of things happened to me at a younger age. So I feel like we need to stop the war and think about the kids, think about what they might be going through, and we should just stop the war and bring peace and love each other. That's what it is. Anyways, love you, bye.
My name is Pastor Laurie, and I've had the privilege of being here together today at the Salvation Army in New York City, celebrating the Day of Peace, celebrating women. And I've had the privilege today of being with Dr. Hun, who for the first time I met him. And what a privilege it was, where he came out on stage the very first time and he began to speak in his own language. He didn't hesitate. He didn't stop. He was unapologetic, speaking from his heart. And then the screen changed and we were able to see exactly what he was saying. And his words were heartfelt. It was just so lovely, him speaking from his heart, and the words were heartfelt. And it was just so beautiful about love and peace. And I thought that's all we were going to hear from him. But all during the program, there were bits and pieces of love from him, from his heart. He had presents that he had prepared for the speakers, whether it be banners for them to wear that were specifically chosen for the occasion. He had awards or certificates for them, specifically commemorating the day of love and peace. He had the young people singing and dancing to bring in joy and love and peace. You couldn't get away from it. And even after, for the speakers that were on the panel, he had different gifts for them. He brought books commemorating a day of consciousness, which is going to be April 12th. And then a day of hope that's going to be on one's April 15th, and the day of hope is July 12th. How wonderful. We need that. And as the day went through, to have different things explained to us. We had the ringing of the bell that was so the whole day. He gave us his heart in so many different ways. And with the ringing of the bell, to hear that we witnessed today the 666th, 67th, or 67th, 68th, and 69th ringing of the bell today was commemorated. And they got banners to wear and clocks to take home. The whole day was so thought out and so sincere by Dr. Hone, and I just want to say thank you to this incredible man of God. I love you already, and I can't wait to get to know you better. I love you. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share.
Any words you want to talk to Dr. Hong or talk to the group? Any words you want to share?
I think that the dedication that the young people have, the dedication of every single person that is traveling with him, that because of their commitment, you know that they have this love and peace, this message that they want to get out to the world, that comes across also, that this is a ministry. Make no mistake that this is a mission and a ministry. And I respect and honor all of you. And thank you for your service. Even if you change one heart at a time, everywhere you go, it's going to have that ripple effect. That person's going to change that person's heart, and the next and the next. You are doing a wonderful service for the Lord. Thank you.
My peace message to the world is love spreads. Hate can spread, but I think love spreads at a greater level. And so at any given point, be sure to share kindness, share love, and do your part. Make an intentional decision every day to do something kind and be love.
Thank you very much. My name is Ambassador Pastor Princess Julie from Africa, but I live in New York. And I've been part of this journey like over 30 years, trying to reach out to, my message is about restoring the value and dignity of womanhood through mentorship. And that is why after the last CSW 69 in March, I was able to put together a group of great ambassadors to form an assembly where we can debrief. Because most times our leaders actually don't have a place to debrief. They don't have a place called their own place. They can be vulnerable and talk about what happened. So it was a place for us to do that. But concerning this peace, because the inner peace, the stability of the mind, the soul, and the spirit is very, very important for us to be able to forge ahead, to build, to develop, and to have sustainability. Because if the peace is not there, that means we can't achieve those. And that is why I brought it to the nitty-gritty. I wasn't looking at paper. I wasn't talking about data. I just brought it to the everyday womanhood lifestyle. As a mother in the home, we know where it starts from the womb. We know what irritation is. We know what chaos is. Like when you are pregnant, now you have this child. From the stages, then you have the child, they grow into childhood, teenagehood, where their world is different. That is chaos. And you are able to manage this home, these lives. And you are able to maintain conflict resolution among siblings. Then you are a great nation builder. And that is where I rest my case on that, that as a woman, we are great peace ambassadors and we can make it happen. Achieving peace is possible, but equality has to be put in place. You know, when the ocean water, I love the water side. When my most exciting one was when the guys was moving, the rhythm and ringing the bell, and in fact it was like the whole world stood still for me, and there was this calmness inside of me. I felt like, oh God, this is so emotional. I'm like talking about hope in the world because peace is possible. And those bells that those leaders, I look forward to one day to be one of those ambassadors that will hit that bell because that is what we're all about. It's so emotional, and I really want to observe that over and over. There's a video on it, and it's so assuring and hopeful. So please let's hold hands together and keep making it happen. The little drops of water forms the ripples and it goes around the ocean. Thank you very much.
Well, I would just like to say my action of peace is to promote what I talked about, Ubuntu, which is sharing of humanity, right? It is about not being individualistic, but caring about other people. And that is how we're going to enforce peace in the world. It starts with self in our homes, and an individual level, and then on a family level, and then goes to the community, and the nation, and then the world, globally. Yes, that's what I would say, and I really enjoyed the ceremony today. The ringing the bell is such a significant part of our history, and today history was made because we rung the bell. And at this time, I would just like to say, peace is such an amazing thing to have, and we inculcate a culture of peace when we commemorate the International Day of Peace.
We hope you found inspiration in their efforts to continue your work. We would love to hear your actions for peace. You're welcome to email us or leave comments below. Thank you for joining us today. Our next event will be November 16th to support the International Day for Tolerance. Be sure to join us then. Thank you. We'll see you next time.